Hello and welcome to True Audiophiles. Today I'm going to talk about Stone Temple Pilots Core. Biggest reason being is it was just recently reissued as an Atlantic 75th anniversary 45 RPM audiophile edition with Analog Productions help. And this one I have here is number, I think it's 730, I believe. I got it numbered. Not that obviously that matters a whole lot, but so I've got that one here. Unfortunately, the only other one I have is one that just recently came out and is still available, though, is the deluxe edition that came out, which basically has 4 CDs and a DVD. The DVD having a surround sound version and the high resolution version of the album and some videos, and it does come with the vinyl as well. So those are really the only two I had. I wish I had the music on vinyl, and I really wish I had the original. Part of the reason why I haven't bought the music on vinyl is I actually bought a version of Purple, which is coming out as a Analog Productions 75th Anniversary Atlantic reissue as well later this year. I have the music on vinyl Purple, and I have an original pressing of Purple. And the original pressing is just much better, in my opinion, from a sound quality perspective. So anyway, so that's why I didn't buy the music on vinyl. But I have not been able to find an original pressing of Core. So that being said, I put on the Analog Productions 45 RPM and thought it sounded really, really good. It sounds really great, rich, nice bass, deep, tight bass. One of the things that really stuck out to me is the song Creep. I mean, it sounded like it stopped me in my tracks when I was listening, because actually, I was really kind of, at one point I was kind of doing some other stuff while I was listening to it. And then when Creep came on, I stopped and listened, because it just blew me away at how good it sounded. I mean, the acoustic guitar especially sounded incredible, so natural, so like it was here in the room. The vocals obviously sounded as good as they did in all the other songs as well, but sounded equally as good on this, and it just enveloped me so much, and it just sounded really amazing. So then I put on the deluxe edition, and I don't believe this has any credits in terms of who cut it, so I'm not sure who cut it, but I have to say it sounded really, really good too. Different, but it sounded really, really good as well. I would say actually the snare and the cymbals, in my opinion, sounded better on the deluxe edition version. And I mean, it was a little brighter, and maybe that's why I felt it sounded a little bit better. But the bass was very good on it, but the bass I think was a little tighter and more accurate on the AP, Analog Productions. And I would definitely say when I compared the two, the song Creep on both of them, Creep just really stood out more on the Analog Productions one. It just sounded amazing. So it was pretty incredible how great that song as a whole sound. I mean, the whole album, like I mentioned, definitely sounds really good on the Analog Productions, and the Core and the deluxe edition both sound really, really good. I guess it's a question of, I probably would say that from an EQ perspective, the Analog Productions one is probably more accurate than the deluxe edition. And then obviously the detail and the accuracy overall, not just the neutralness of the EQ, but the accuracy and the detail, I think, were better on the Analog Productions. But it wasn't by much. It was a relatively subtle difference. It may be a little bit more so on Creep than on the other tracks, but they did a great job on the deluxe edition, I have to admit. I really wish I could hear the original pressing, and I've also heard from some others or another person that the music on vinyl one sounds better than the Analog Productions one, but I don't know because I don't have it. But I'd love to hear your take on it as well. That's kind of where I stand on this. I would say one thing that I will say is, you're talking about for the deluxe edition and the Analog Productions one, they both are going to cost you about $60 right now. I kind of looked up on Amazon. So, but with the Deluxe edition, you get those 4 discs as well, including a high-resolution version of the album in both stereo and surround sound, and the music videos on a DVD. So, they've got outtakes, they've got a live show, and things like that as part of the extras in this. So, if that kind of stuff appeals to you, I don't think you're going to be disappointed if you get the deluxe edition. Plus, I think they did a really cool job on the cover. It's embossed and kind of has that refractor kind of look feel to it. It's kind of cool. So I guess it's one of those things where, are you wanting the extras that come with the deluxe version, and including the surround sound, which I'm a huge fan of, or do you want the slightly more accurate Analog Productions version? And again, it's another one of those things too, is do you want the more treble or do you want the more neutral sound too? So, they're going to both cost you about the same amount of money, although I think you can buy the vinyl on its own for, I'm guessing, probably 30-ish bucks. So it'd be about maybe half the cost of the Analog Productions one. So I guess that's a question of, what is more important to you? The extras and or saving money or the, better sounding version slightly. But that's my take on Core by Stone Temple Pilots. I definitely think the Analog Productions one sounds really good. I think they did a great job on it. I can't say with all honesty that I think there's a dramatic difference in terms of the overall sound quality to them. And like I said, I kind of preferred the snare and cymbal sound on the deluxe edition. But that's personal preference. Maybe you'll disagree with me, and you're more than welcome to do that and make some comments in the comments section as well. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. So, what is your thought? Do any of you have actually an original pressing? And or the music on vinyl that you've been able to compare to the Analog Productions one? I'd really actually like to hear comments from those who maybe have an original pressing of this, because I'd really love to get your take on how that sounds in comparison to all these other ones that are out there. So if it's anything like Purple, maybe it's going to be the best sounding one that's out there. I don't know. So, but I'd love to hear what you have to say. That is everything I have for this week, or for this episode, I should say. I want to thank you for subscribing if you subscribe. If you don't, please do so. I'd love to see new subscribers. Hit that like button if you liked the video, and hit that alert bell if you want to see when my new videos come out. And please make some comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. So, that is everything I have. Have yourself a great rest of the day, and have yourself a great rest of the week. Thanks a lot.